Hey friends, it's Molly and welcome to practice. Today's class is going to be about 45 minutes. We'll be doing a style like an ebb and flow, so never building too much heat or energy, but also never really holding poses for very long into a stretch. So just kind of laid back, feel good in the body. If that means that you want to use blocks and a bolster, great. If those would get in the way for you, then don't use them, whatever you need. All right, we're gonna get started in a child's pose. So sit your hips back onto your heels, bring your knees out wide, your big toes into touch. And then for this variation, we're gonna cross our elbows in front of us and place your forehead on top of one of your forearms. And let's start taking some rocking motion side to side with the hips. Releasing into the low back. This class will have a lot of rocking motions. It's just meant to feel good in the body. I encourage you to close your eyes as much as you would like in this class. I think it feels so good. You can kind of tune into what you need better. So start to notice how you arrive onto your mat today. How are you feeling physically? What's talking to you? What's tight? What's weak? What's sore? What's feeling strong? What's feeling open? Check in with your mind. Where's your mind space at? Are you focused and present? Are you distracted? Are you stressed? Regardless, are you able to latch your point of focus onto your breath, onto the movement in your body to be here in this space for the next 40-45 minutes? And then check in with heart space. See how your emotions, how your relationships, how your personal well-being feels today. And if that feels too far detached, then just let it go. But if you'd like to create an intention, please do. We practice on the mat in order to take what we learned off the mat into our lives. We'll take one breath here together. So empty the air completely from your lungs. Take a big inhale in through your nose. Fill up the whole middle space of your body through your chest, your ribs, your belly, your back body. Inflate a little more. And then exhale, open your mouth side out. Good. Stop the rocking from side to side. Stretch your arms in front of you. And then roll up into a tabletop pose. Your knees come to stack right underneath your hips. Press the ground away with your palms. Puff up through the back of the heart. So we're finding a cat spine and tuck your toes underneath you. We're going to rock forward and backward in this cat spine. Forward over the fingertips, sending weight back into the balls of the feet. Arms are engaged with the mat the whole time. You're separating your shoulders on your back body. Slight engagement of your core, pulling pubic bone up towards navel. And just see how this feels. Usually we kind of switch between cat and cow, but how does it feel to rock forward and backwards, keeping this flexion, this curving? Let your breath remain steady. And then we'll switch it out. So now I want you to find cow pose. Drop your belly, lift your tail, lift your gaze. Energetically pull the palms of your hands back towards your knees. And then rock back and forth here. Maybe you feel something in your hips, in your spine, in your shoulders that you normally wouldn't. Couple more breath cycles here. Again, I offer a closing of the eyes so you can really fine tune the little nuances, the sensations in your body. On your next exhale, push the ground away with your palms. Glide your hips high. Find a downward facing dog. I'm not going to be here for long. Maybe just a breath or two. See how the shape feels today, and we'll revisit later, so no need to go into your deepest shape. And then start to walk your way to the top of the mat. Find a forward fold Uttanasana. Let your upper body drape heavy, diving your chest forward over the lower body. And then I want your hands to just rest on the mat or rest on a bolster. Back of the neck tractions down, giving some space in the spine. Widen your toes so you can really feel your big toes and your pinky toes plant down into the mat alongside your heels, so we're grounded here. Move through some circle chair. So I'll walk us through a first round, and then we're gonna do several, so you just close your eyes and feel into it. But what we do is we ground down into our feet, lift our spine one segment at a time. Arms are just dangling heavy. Head and neck and shoulders are the last to unroll. Once we get to a standing, we hinge at the hips, sending them back, and then our chest leads the way back down to a fold. So let it look weird, let it feel good. And be here several breaths. See if you can feel each spinal segment undulate up and down. A more generous bend in the knees and the hips makes this more available in the body. And then if you'd like, we can start moving to the side. So maybe rolling up on the right. This will be a big stretch along the left back and side body. And then dive your chest back down. Roll over to the left, stand on up. And then dive back down over the left foot. Switching sides a couple more rounds. You have 3 more breath cycles, so take what feels good. On your next inhale, stand all the way up. Turn your toes out, your heels in. We're gonna sit our hips low into Malasana, yogi squat. Great option for a block or bolster underneath the hips. And then here we're gonna round in. So bring your fingers interlace at the back of your skull. Your elbows point out to the side on an inhale. And then exhale, curl everything on the inside of your knees. Great place to feel some length along the back body. Maybe you feel a lot behind your neck. That's where I tend to feel this. Maybe you feel it more in the low or mid back. 2 more breaths here. Good. Next inhale, plant your hands at the top of the mat. Step your feet back, your knees back to a tabletop. Neutral spine here. And then a couple rounds of normal cat-cow inhale. Open the front body. Exhale, round and puff up through the back body. 2 more with your breath. I didn't say this before, but I highly recommend listening to music for this type of class. Something that's kind of laid back but has a good beat. You can just move to what feels good. So now we're gonna rock hips side to side. Left and right. Let them poke out, lengthening along the rib space of the opposite side. And then bring this down to kind of a child's pose, tabletop hybrid. So propping onto your elbows. Your head can rest into your hands, or the top of the head can rest on the mat. Still rocking hips side to side. If you lower down, make your way back up to tabletop. Neutral spine. Inhale, stretch right leg long behind you, find some extension. And then exhale, bend your right knee, point your right toes to the long side of the mat. Sit your hips down onto left heel. Finding this little half squat, plant your right hand on the inside of your right foot. Inhale like a bow and arrow, stretch your left elbow and then your left hand high to the sky. 2 breaths here, inflate the left lung. Such a good side stretch. Good. On an exhale, walk your hands back forward, plant your right knee underneath you. Inhale, stretch the left leg long behind you, lengthen through the crown of the head. And then exhale, bend your left knee, point your left toes to the long edge of the mat, sit your hips onto your right heel. Left hand grounds on the inside of left foot. Inhale like a bow and arrow, reach right elbow, and then extend into right hand high to the sky. Couple breaths. One more inhale. And then exhale. 2 hands to feet, 2 knees to the mat tabletop. Good, and then sit your hips back towards your heels, but your toes are tucked, so finding an active child's pose. Inhale to roll and round forward through cat spine. Exhale, untuck your pelvis, sit it back towards your heels as your chest reaches forwards. Close your eyes and undulate through each spinal segment, inhaling to roll and round forward. Exhale, glide back. Open up the front body. One more here. On your final rep, we're gonna glide all the way back to down dog again. And then here, let's find some movement. So pedal out your feet, walk your dog. And then we'll bring some side body movement into this as well. So maybe think about dropping right knee down to the center, pivoting left heel down and gazing under left shoulder. And then switch them out. Drop left knee down towards the center of the mat. Not all the way, but just in intention. Swivel your right heel down, gaze under right armpit. And then move with your breath. Move in a rhythm that feels good through the side bodies. Pivoting one heel, bending the opposite knee, gazing under shoulder. Let's do one more on each side. Good, find your downward facing dog. On your inhale, sweep right leg high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right foot to the outside of the right hand, press the ground away to make space. Finding kind of a high lizard lunge, and then drop left knee down. Inhale to pull your chest through your shoulders. Exhale, half split, straighten into right leg. Glide your hips back. Couple more with your breath. Inhale, heart threads through, bending into right knee. And then exhale, straighten into right knee. On this next one, inhale to sweep your right hand high. And then exhale, bring your right hand to your sacrum. Low back space. Take a couple flossing of the hips here with this slight twist. One more inhale. On your exhale, you're gonna pivot open to the left. Keep your right hand where it is. Toes turn in, heels out. Find a wide-legged forward fold. And then option to walk your feet wider if you need. Inhale, traction your left hand back towards your body as you lengthen through the spine. Exhale, lower down onto left elbow if you can. Bend into left knee. Open your gaze and your right shoulder up. Inhale to straighten, halfway lift through the spine. Exhale, bend into left knee, left elbow. Gaze over right. One more here. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, find this little skater lunge twist variation. Good, inhale through center, both hands plant this time. Pull the crown of the head forward. And then exhale, right hand comes to left ankle, find a twist this way. So left fingertips walk in front of you. See if you can wrap your lungs around your heart. Peeking under left shoulder for 2 more breaths. Next exhale, walk your way to the front of the mat, bend into right knee, plant both hands, step back, downward facing dog. And we'll swap them out. Inhale, left heel reaches high. Exhale, round forward, press the ground away. Plant your left foot on the outside of left hand. Stay here high for a moment, and then exhale, lower right knee down. Floss out the hips a few times. Inhale to pull heart through shoulders, sinking hips down towards the mat. And then exhale, half split, straighten into left leg, send your hips back. Keep your big toe pointed and grounded into the mat. Big stretch on the front of the foot. Very much a neglected area. Inhale, reach forward. Keep left big toe grounded as you send hips back. Also have the option to place blocks if you need a little more height for yourself. Good, on this next one, inhale, stretch the left hand high, and back behind you, place it on your low back, your sacrum area. Couple flossing of the hips here. Let it feel interesting, let it feel different than maybe a version you've taken before. Next, inhale, bend into left knee, tuck right toes. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, pivoting over to the right. Toes in, heels out. Right hand is in the center of the mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. And then if you want it, exhale, we're gonna bend into right knee, lower right elbow down to the mat, gaze over left shoulder. Inhale, come through center, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend into right knee and elbow. Getting deep into your outer hips and inner hips. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, find your skater lunge. Good, next breath, inhale, both hands to center, pull them back. Pull the crown of the head forward. And then exhale, we're gonna find the twist. Left hand to right ankle. Right fingertips walk forward. 3 breaths. On your next exhale, bend into left knee, walk to the front of the mat, pivoting toes forward, and then step back, downward facing dog. 2 breath cycles here to land. Maybe feeling a little more open, a little more at home in this shape. And then walk your way to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bring your feet out a little bit wide, so just about hip width distance. And then inhale, roll up your spine. Bring your hands out to a cactus, so bending elbows at 90 degrees. And we're gonna twist side to side for several moments. Revolving your whole upper body around the center line of your spine. If you feel any sort of whooshing in your breath or your heart, go ahead and back off, less aggressive with your twists. Make sure you recapture your breath. Several more moments here. If you're feeling good, maybe deepen the twist, close your eyes. You can bring your fingertips to your shoulders. Start to slow the rotations, coming back to center, little by little. And then bend into your knees, place your hands on your thighs, down by your knees. Inhale, we're gonna traction out through the spine, so lengthen. Exhale, drop right shoulder slightly. So we're not really in this big goddess pose with the twist, just a little bit more narrow. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, drop left shoulder down. Gaze over right side. Maybe stick your left hip back. Inhale through center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder in. Send right hips over to the left side. Inhale through center. Exhale, drop left shoulder in. Hips guide over to the right. Good, inhale through center. Find an arch in the spine now. So think cow pose, dropping your head back. And then exhale, push your hands into your legs, round through the spine. Think cat pose. Inhale, open up to cow. Exhale, push round, cat pose. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Good. Stack your spine 1 second at a time. Come to stand. Inhale. Bring your arms high, your right knee follows. Exhale, lean, lever your upper body forward as your right toes step back. Left knee is bent. Inhale, find your crescent lunge. Arms reach high, biceps frame the ears. And then exhale, we're gonna backstroke our arms all the way back behind us. So big circle with the arms as you fold and straighten over left leg. Modified pyramid, back heel is lifted. Inhale, bend into left knee, crescent lunge, arms high. Exhale, straighten left leg. Backstroke your arms back and then fold them down as your chest dives forwards. One more inhale. Exhale, arms reach back behind you, straighten into left leg and fold. Good, inhale, halfway lift with your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, bend into left knee, and sweep left leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. Let your right heel pivot down and left toes land behind you. Find a wild thing. Hips hover for a moment. And then inhale, ground down into your points of contact. Drive hips and heart up to the sky. Big breath in here. Big breath out, lower your hips to the mat. Walk your right foot in, so both kneecaps are pointing to the sky. Left hand plants, inhale. Find this flip dog, kind of like a break dancer pose, or a bridge, or reverse tabletop variation. So lifting hips up to the sky. Right arm is lifted overhead. Exhale, lower back down. Both hands plant, windshield wiper out the legs. Dropping knees to right, and then left. Couple more cycles here. One more over to the left. And then ground down into left foot. Stretch right leg long. Plant into right hand. Inhale, wild thing again. Then exhale, left hand to the mat. Left hand or left foot high. Inhale to stretch long through your limbs, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot lands between your thumbs. Good, swivel right heel down. Plant left hand in front or inside of left foot. Inhale, find a side angle pose. So a couple of options here. If you'd like, you can come propped up, elbow onto knee, or you can place your fingertips on a block, or you can have your fingertips on the ground, whatever you need. We're gonna take some big circles out through the right arm. Inhale to open up. Exhale, circle and close. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round down. One more. This next inhale lifts you all the way back, reverse to your warrior. Right hand down the right leg, left arm overhead, bending into left knee. And then exhale, find a Uttanasana triangle pose. Straighten into both legs. Left hand comes to left shin, right arm overhead. Inhale, bend into left knee, reverse your warrior. Exhale, Uttanasana triangle pose. Move with your breath. Inhale, pulls you back. Exhale, stretches you straight and long in all directions. Good, inhale, stay in your triangle pose. Gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, we're gonna spring forward into half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Open your pelvis to the right, right hip stacks on top of left. Take an in-breath here. Exhale, bring your right knee into your chest as you parallel your hips down to the mat. Place your right hand on the top of your right foot. And then inhale, open up into sugar cane pose. So half moon shape, but your right knee is bent. You're holding onto right foot. Breathe here. Good. Exhale, lower your right foot next to your left. Forward fold. Roll up the spine. Let it feel good. And then find those twists. Maybe your arms dangle out long. Close your eyes. Again, this is where a song would be awesome. Move some energy through. Let something build up and then let it go. Couple more breaths here. If it feels silly, let it feel silly. And then keep doing it anyways. Start to slow your rotations. Smaller and smaller range of motion until you come back to center. Make sure your feet are about hip width distance, maybe even a little bit wider. And then bend your knees, bring your hands to your knees. Inhale, think cow spine, arching, lifting tail, lifting gaze. Exhale, push your hands into your knees around through the upper and mid back, tucking your pelvic or your pubic bone underneath. Inhale, open up to cow. Exhale, curl and round. Tuck your chin at the end as well. One more here, inhale. Exhale, round. Roll up your spine one segment at a time. Ground into your right foot. Inhale, sweep arms high, left knee high. Exhale, lever your upper body forward as you send your left leg back, planting onto the ball of the left foot. Inhale, hips to stack, crescent lunge. Exhale, backstroke your arms behind you, fold into your modified pyramid. Moving with the breath, bend into right knee, reach your arms high. Straighten into right knee, fold, dive your body forward. Inhale to open it up. Big backstroke with the arms as you fold into modified pyramid. Hands plant beside your right foot. Inhale, halfway lift through the spine. Ground down through your hands, pull right knee into chest, tiger curl. Inhale, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip, and then plant your right toes all the way back behind you. Hover your hips off the mat. Setting up for wild thing. And then inhale gets you there, 2 breaths. Open up across the front of the hips, the front of the heart. And then exhale, lower hips down to the mat. Slide your left foot underneath you, and then plant your right hand back for support. Inhale, find your, we'll call it break dancer or flip dog. Again, driving hips up. This time left arm is lifted. Exhale, lower back down. 2 hands for support, just windshield wiper out the legs. Loosening up with some hip rotation. My floor is squeaky, I apologize. Good, come back through center. This time extend left leg long again, left hand plants. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, back to the front of the mat. Right hand plants, right leg remains lifted. Inhale, stretch long into 3-legged dog. And then exhale, round, push the ground away as you step your right foot on the inside of your right thumb, swivel left heel down. Find your variation of side angle. Again, you can prop right elbow on right knee. You can use a block. You can place your fingertips down. Inhale to stretch left arm high or overhead. And then we're gonna take some big circles out with the arm. Just whatever direction feels comfortable for you. Maybe try one the other direction, see how it feels. Your next in-breath carries you all the way back to reverse warrior. Bending into right knee, sliding left hand down left leg. Exhale, triangle pose, straighten into both legs. Right hand to a block or the inside of the left shin. Left arm overhead. Bend into right knee, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, triangle pose. One more time, inhale, lean it back. Open up through the right side body. Exhale, triangle pose. Stay here for one more inhale. Gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, spring forward into half moon. Stacking left hip on top of right, pointing out through the left heel. Left arm reaches high. Take an in breath here. And then exhale, we're gonna bend our left knee, curl it into our chest as our left shoulder folds down. And then see if you can capture the top of the left foot. Inhale to open up into sugar cane pose. So same shape as half moon, but left knee is bent. One breath in here. Exhale, gently release your left foot next to your right forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your feet out slightly, your toes out, sit into Uttanasana. Yogi squat. Give your wrists a roll, so interlace your fingers, roll your hands in one direction, and then the opposite direction. Good. Sit all the way down onto your bum. Bring your feet to touch in the center, finding a Uttanasana butterfly pose. Inhale, pull your chest forward through your shoulders. Exhale, lower your spine down one segment at a time, nice and slow. Good. Inhale, big full body stretch, long through your toes and your fingertips. And then exhale, hands come to the sides of your body, lift up into a low boat. So your heels are hovering, a couple inches off the mat, your shoulders are hovering. Making sure this low belly space, even below the belly button, is nice and tight. If it's not, take a bent knee variation. Couple more breaths here. Stay strong in your low boat. One more inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your feet to the mat. And ground down, preparing for bridge. Inhale, roll up one segment at a time, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, roll up. Driving hips to the sky, engaging your glutes. Exhale, release back down, arms follow. One more time here, inhale. Exhale, roll down. Bring your feet, the soles of your feet to touch. Find a Supta Baddha Konasana, a couple of breaths here. Then see if you can use your core to slowly lift you up into a seated posture. Baddha Konasana, or yes, Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Take a breath in here. Take a breath out, fold. Find a nice opening through the inner thighs. Maybe engage your outer hips by pulling your knees down towards the mat without using your hands. Just an option. Good, inhale, come back up. Plant the soles of your feet. Use your hands back behind you for support. Come into a forward fold. Uttanasana at the top of the mat. Let your head hang heavy. And then just pause here. Feel the points of contact. Feel every little part of the bottom of your feet and maybe your finger pads down into the mat. Stable and steady and grounded. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Curl your right knee in towards your chest. Hold on to the top of the foot. And then inhale, open up into your sugar cane pose. We've been here before. Meet the shape. Good. And then exhale, let go of the foot, but don't let the foot slingshot. So keep your hamstring engaged. Bend into your left knee. And then plant your right foot at the back of the mat. Straighten into left leg, bend into right knee, Skandasana. Surfer's lunge at the back of the mat. Good, now inhale, bend into left knee, left toes pivot forward. Maybe take a side bend over to the left, planting left fingertips down, right arm reaches overhead. And then exhale, pivot your body over to the right, to the back of the mat. Lower left knee down, inhale, sweep right hand high, backstroke through the arm. Curl left heel into glute, and then exhale, Twisted lizard lunge. Feel free to grab onto that foot. Several breaths here. Option to keep your right knee hugging in towards body or letting the weight splay over to the pinky toe edge of the foot. Stay here, or if you're really open, lower down onto left elbow. Rise back up on your hand if you lowered. Gently release the grasp of your foot and then find a lizard pose. So maybe this time your right elbow sinks down to the mat or to a block. Send some breath into the front of the hips. Let something release, let some sort of tension go. Walk back up onto your hands, tuck your left toes. Take an inhale to pull your chest forward. And then exhale, pivot to the left, coming all the way back to the top of the mat, forward fold, right foot steps up. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, release the crown of the head heavy. Weight shifts over into the right foot. Curl your left knee into chest, hold on to the top of the foot. And then inhale, find your sugar cane. Exhale, stay. Inhale, see if you can open up a little more if the wall is not in your way. And then exhale, slowly and gently let go of the foot. Send your left leg long to the back of the mat, straighten into your right, Skandasana. Hips to rest, over left heel. Good. Now right toes plant, right knee bends, left knee drops, maybe find a side stretch in your low lunge. Right fingertips land, left arm reaches over to the right. And then exhale, pivot your body to the left, to the back of the mat, lower right knee down, right hand plants. Inhale, backstroke with the left hand. Curl right heel into glute, and then hang onto your foot. And find your threshold. Find what stretch feels good. Take ego out of it. Option to plug into the big left toe, hugging knee in towards the body or opening it out to the side. And then you always have the option to deepen the stretch by lowering down onto right elbow. Couple more breath cycles. Come back onto your right hand. Gently release the grasp of your foot. Find lizard pose for a few cycles of breath, maybe lowering left elbow down or finding support underneath the body. One more breath here. And exhale, push up onto your hands, tuck your right toes, make your way to the top of the mat. Step your left foot forward, Uttanasana. 3 rounds of circle chair, move right into it, let something move through. Moving through hips, through spine, through shoulders and neck. Last exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. We'll take 5 super yummy spinal rolls here. So moving from a down dog forward into a high plank, rolling and rounding the spine forward. Exhale, bend your knees, untuck your hips, glide them high, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, bend your knees as much as you need. Find some length through the back. Engage the muscles around your spine to lift you back to down dog. 3 more with your breath. Last one here. Inhale slowly, meticulously as you can. Feel everything. Exhale, feel it all on the way back. Good, lower your knees down to the mat. Find a child's pose. Actually, let's find our child's pose tabletop hybrid. So propping down onto elbows, resting your head or your forehead down, and just rock your hips side to side. Find a little bit of movement here. What do you need to do to be here for the next few breaths, few moments? Good, and then sit your hips all the way back. Find a child's pose, knees out wide, big toes to touch. Send your arms out long in front of you. And soften everything. So if you need a bolster to give you some support between your heels and your hips, take that. Let your shoulders slide out and down along the back body. Unclench your jaw, soften your eyelids. You have the option to stay in your child's pose as long as you would like. As long as you need, as long as you're comfortable with. If you're ready, we're going to keep our eyes closed and just walk our hands back so our hips are sitting onto our heels, hands on the tops of the thighs. Maybe rub your thighs, maybe roll out your shoulders. And then sit here with your breath. Just a few more moments. We find this transition state. Maybe something came up for you during this practice in body and mind and heart, and just sit with that here. Recognizing if it's time to let something go. If so, exhale that out. Or recognizing if there's something you want to call in. Something good that came along the way. If so, inhale that in. And then we'll take one final full breath cycle here together. As you're ready, empty your lungs. Take a full expansive inhale. See if you can grow tall through your whole spine. And then exhale, open your mouth side out. Hands can come to third eye or to heart center. And I thank you for practicing with me. All right, friends, slowly, gently make your way into the rest of your day. So if you need to linger here a little while longer, please do. But I hope that felt really good and flowy and kind of laid back in your body. I really like those simple, kind of embodied types of flows. So if you did, let me know. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time.